the 58th annual Snowball Derby. I'm Matthew Dillner, your host tonight, joined, of course, by Brandon Paul, a veteran of the Snowball Derby, a race that personally the two of us and so many that are on our crew have such a passion for, and this is one of the biggest races in short track racing.
It is, absolutely. Can't believe we're already back here. I can't believe it's already been a year. Last year it had been a couple years. We had been down here for a few years. This year it's already December. Thanksgiving happens. Here we are, the Snowball Derby, the greatest race in pavement super late model racing, and it kicks off right here tonight.
I snuck a trip down here to watch my brother run a crown stock, go see the beach. What a great area to go to for race fans to come vacation or come down as a team, talking to teams from Wisconsin that are here this weekend, enjoying the weather that, I mean, some say it's a little chilly down here, but compared to up there, it is awesome. But this has been a absolutely awesome trip so far. Had a big breakfast with the team this morning. All of us got to enjoy breakfast, and we're all so hyped for the Snowball Derby.
It's great just driving around Pensacola. It's so cool. You don't really see it anywhere else. You drive by a parking lot to a Walmart, and there's a race car out in the parking lot.
Oh, even better in our neighborhood.
Right. There's just race cars everywhere. The anticipation is so high. Every driver and team knows they need to be on their A game, and every minute counts beginning – I don't know, a week ago at this point, more than a week ago,
actually. Yeah,
because
teams are testing, of course. But, yeah, Dylan Capello, we're in an Airbnb. Let's just let you in on that. And we posted this on social media on FloRacing. We're walking around, and there's a big race car rig in our neighborhood and a garage door open and a pro late model being worked on by the team in the garage of an Airbnb. This is old school cool.
Yeah, you just don't, like I said before, you don't see that many places when you go to a race. No, all around the country. You're not just driving down the road or looking at an Airbnb, seeing a race car being worked on. It's just such a unique event and just so cool.
Well, I think another person that is part of our crew that is super uber passionate about the Snowball Derby is also waiting to talk to us. Rob Blount, what you got, buddy?
Guys, how we doing? I am so excited to be back here. This is such a great event. We all love this one. I think this is my 8th time doing this event. 2nd one with the two of you exactly in this spot. We got a ton of guests here. Everyone's already having fun. Look all behind me, how many people are already here at the bar. I saw Ryan Preece walk in. He's going to be up with you guys soon. I think Ty Fredrickson is out playing volleyball already. We might catch up with him soon. It's one of the great things about this event is it's the last time that everybody gets to just let loose and have fun before things get serious as they try to chase the Tom Dawson Trophy this weekend, starting tomorrow when they park the haulers and then go through Tech before everything gets started. Thursday they hit the racetrack, but first let's have some fun tonight. Let's go back up to you guys.
All right. We are having fun here already at the Ticket Sports Bar in Pensacola, and somebody that's having fun being back at the Derby already, and you look a little warmer than the last time I saw you about 2 hours ago in that parking lot. You had a T-shirt on, but Ryan Preece, glad you have the hoodie on, but most of all, glad you're back at the Snowball Derby.
No, absolutely. It's been, it's so wild. I'm looking at your stat sheet here. 2008 was the first time I came here. I am cheating. I was 18 years old, and then I came back and had my car, and I just think back to all the memories. But, yeah, when I think of Florida, I don't think of it being this cold. So when I walked out of the house this morning to go, we were unloading the car, and just because we tested yesterday, we just wanted to nut and bowl and do a lot, get ahead of the game for tomorrow. I didn't bring a sweatshirt because I figured it's Florida. It's not going to be that cold, and that was a bad choice.
Yeah, you kind of missed it there. But talk about this team that you're bringing down, because even hanging out at the back of the trailer, you got a bunch of modified guys too, man. You're a modified guy at heart. Of course, you're running in the NASCAR Cup Series, but this is a really cool grassroots effort for you and your guys.
Yeah, for sure. So I have Mike Perry. He's my longtime friend and tire guy from up in the Northeast. He's always helped me, and whenever I go racing, I bring him with me as well as I actually have a few of my engineers for my Cup car, my engine tuner, and guys that I race with every single week. And this is kind of like, it's fun for us. And for me as a racer, I enjoy building race cars. I enjoy going to the races. And when I got this car back in probably mid or early January,
what type of chassis is it?
It's a Fury.
It is, okay.
Yep. So and I did that because my modified is a Fury car. So I already had a relationship with them, and I wanted to kind of take some of the ideas that I had with my modified and see if they could work with this Derby car. And we tested yesterday, and I was pretty happy with it. Obviously, we're going through some learning curves with just the whole how you have to go about setting these cars up compared to what I do with a modified, where there's no ride height rule. You just sit in stiff springs, and on these things, you got massive soft springs that are just kind of there. And but we're having fun. I love going racing with my friends, and it's been a process throughout this entire year, and we're ready to go.
We obviously know you as a modified guy. We grew up when I started covering the sport. You were obviously racing the 16 Flamingo car and doing the modified stuff. You mentioned coming down to the Derby in 2008, and what made you want to return so much? As a modified guy, I mean, what was it that about this event that really made you want to put in the effort you've put in?
Chris Gabehart. I'll be honest with you guys. I worked with Chris in 2017, and then just the relationship that we had. I remember it was 2020, it was 2020, and I was sitting on my couch, and that was when the Snowball cars, the Supers, had gone to spool rear ends, and they had to run more stagger. And I was like, I'm pretty experienced when it comes to tires and all these other things, and I'd love to give it a shot. And I was texting back and forth with him, and that was what really sparked the idea to come down in 2021. Came here, we ran pretty well, and it was a learning curve, but we had a lot of fun doing it, and ended up fourth and had fun. I just enjoyed coming down here to this area and racing this racetrack, and then it's just one of those things, as a race car driver, you're like, I want to try and win that race. And now it's just one of those things where I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to build a car. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to try and do it. And at the end of the day, even if we don't win, I'm here with my buddies, and we love racing, and we're having a good time. So that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Couldn't do it without racechoice.com or Oscar Mayer hot dogs.
You got the Wienermobile.
I got the Wienermobile.
Yes.
The rocket. She's ready to go to the moon. The race car looks phenomenal.
Do you get to drive it as part of that deal? Do you get to drive it at all?
Do you get at least like one day with the Wienermobile, like the Stanley Cup champions get a day with the Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
Oscar Mayer, come on, man.
I got to be honest with you. The fact that they let me put that on the race car, like it was going to the moon, I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah.
But, I'm driving the rig in tomorrow, and we were almost thinking about going to find like a hot dog outfit to where you'd be driving the rig in that thing. But, it's I enjoyed the paint scheme, the collab that I had some of the RFK guys design
good.
it, and then Sign Pro, which is a local sign shop from Connecticut, a big sign shop. They printed it for me, and we've just been having a lot of fun with it.
Now, this event is so big that we even do haulers entering, and it's a thing. It's like a parade of haulers entering. The haulers get announced. When you first came to this event, you were pretty young. I'm talking like that was fish out of water type stuff for you back then compared to where you are now as a seasoned short tracker. What do you remember about that time of, just coming into an event this massive at that age in your part of your career?
Well, I remember Bond was the crew chief,
Bond,
right? And he's done so much in this super late model sport now. Actually, it's funny. This is something I learned later on. Chris Gabehart actually sat on the pole that year and then got disqualified in tech, and that's how I ended up getting in the race because I actually qualified 31st.
Yep, you were the first one.
I was the first one in because of his misfortune, right? So we didn't know that when we first started working together, but after talking and conversations, I learned that. But no, I do remember on a restart, there was a stack up, and I smoked the hood, and that's why I think we actually would have ended up a little better than 14th, but that was how that happened. But I've just learned to enjoy late model racing, and I don't know if it's the fact that I live in North Carolina now, and it's just around you everywhere, but my passion is still for the modifieds.
Yeah.
What I'll say is I feel like I'm trying to convert every late model guy into a modified guy so they can come enjoy it one time and see, because everybody looks at it like it's this big go-kart, when really you have a lot of grip for about 4 or 5 laps, and then you're just absolutely driving that race car for all it is. So
you did get Bubba. You did get Bubba in a modified there a couple years back. Not for long though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's what I remember about that was he was like, "Man, this thing's so tight." I was like, "Wait until 8 o'clock tonight when it cools off." Like they just go through such a transition. But I mean, the thing about me is I just enjoy all types of racing. And I have a bucket list of things that I want to do, you know, as a race car driver. Like 2008, I was 18 years old at that time. I'm 35. Like
Are
it's
you
almost
35 already?
I'm 35 years old now.
God, I feel
so
old.
that was 17 years ago when I came here, and you know, I wanna try and win this race. I feel like, to be honest with you, we all joked in the car on the way back to Airbnb yesterday. We were like, that went a lot better than we expected, and you know, when you show up to a track, never shook the car down before I came here. You build a car, you make sure everything's tight, but until you hit the track, you don't know what it's going to be like. And so I thought it went really well. I felt like we came up with a really good game plan for when we do eventually get on the racetrack and, you know, try to give it our best shot.
Let's talk about the atmosphere down here for a second. I mean, we're sitting here on a Tuesday. We're still 5 days away from the Snowball Derby. Yeah. You've been obviously running the NASCAR schedule, go to a lot of places. The Modifieds have big events, obviously, as well. Thompson World Series, Stafford Fall Final. But the atmosphere down here is, can you compare it to anything, like maybe even outside of the Daytona 500?
It's just, you know, not really. You know, what I would say is, you know, I'm from the Northeast. I'm from Connecticut. You know, when we go to the Icebreaker, the World Series, or, you know, the Sizzler or the Fall Final, we have big races up there, which have a pretty big following. But this is, you know, pulling people from Michigan, Wisconsin, the Northeast, the Southeast, you know, out west. And you know, the Modifieds are more of a regional thing. We're just up in, you know, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, you know, a little bit in North Carolina, South Carolina. So we aren't, that type of racing isn't as national as what this is. But what I will say is the promotion, the prestige of this event is you know, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, races in the country. You know, and you know, to be a part of that is definitely something. And you know, I feel like Tim and everybody with Five Flags Speedway, they do a great job. And you know, hopefully the weather can change, because one thing I've learned this week is that is the thing that changes the most about this place. Is you look at the weather, you know, at 7 o'clock, and then you look at it at 8 o'clock, and it's completely different. Yep. So hoping we can, you know, have a good Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, that's why I don't sweat it. I don't worry about weather until it's the next day. But hey, before we go to Rob real quick, I got to ask you one quick question. You know, 2008.
Yeah.
You did have the best cook and best gas man in the history. Quite
gas
passively.
man, I don't know.
You know, I mean, amazing gas man for your
I mean, we have some strong chemistry, right? Remember that go-kart race we won together?
Oh, yeah. We beat the crap out of Joey Denowitz and Ben Kennedy.
Yes, we did.
For the win, yeah.
So, you know, we had that going for us. And, you know, I did have a great cook and a great gas man that year.
I did leave a lake behind your car in the last pit stop, and Bondo laughed about that. But anyway, great to have you down here at the Snowball Derby. Having you back, of course it's great when we get NASCAR people down here. But you're a short tracker at heart, and that's what we appreciate you. So glad to see you back. Let's kick it off to Rob. Let's see who he's got.
Yeah, guys, I mean, you were talking about the weather. We're out here freezing our buns off because apparently Ty Fredrickson decided it's time to play beach volleyball, even though it's pitch black out. It's like 40 degrees. Our cameraman's out here with no hoodie on. You have a hoodie, very thick one. I don't know what you're doing here. You don't got any shoes on out here. Sand is wet. It's cold. Are you going to have a better week this week on the racetrack than what you're already having on the volleyball court?
I don't know. I'm having a pretty good time on the volleyball court. You know, we're tied for the win right now, but we'll see. Hopefully you can take home a Tom Dawson trophy, but if I don't, I'll end up with a volleyball trophy too.
How are your feet feeling right now?
Very
to get a point here, Ty and I, against his spotter, Kaden Honeycutt here. I haven't played volleyball in forever. They've been practicing. Let's see if we still got this thing. I'm going to stuff the mic and try to get a point here, all right? We already 1 point in. Ty Fredrickson's already got a win. It's Snowball Derby weekend. We're going to send it back up to you guys.
Rob Blount, I'm so proud of you. Unbelievable. Look at the athleticism. Don't judge him by the way he looks. I mean, the guy is like, sign him up for the Olympics. Let's go.
What a performance by Rob.
Unbelievable. I think we should end the show on that. No. We've got Tim Bryant here, owner at Five Flags Speedway. And, of course, this event is your baby. Have you gotten to the part of your week where you're sleep is just going to be an afterthought?
Well, yeah, that probably started several days ago. It did, and I think that when the long-term forecast came out, the sleep went away. But
that can change. That's going to change.
We're optimistic. Hey, we're planning on doing some racing, and certainly we're glad to have the Flow Sports here in the house to cover it all. And for those folks that can't make it down, certainly we know they'll be tuned in. And by the way, I want to make a mention that Fredrickson family is a bunch of athletes too.
Oh, true. I mean, we gave Rob all the
Rob
credit.
Blount is an athlete.
I mean,
I saw
Ty Head Fredrickson was, he kind of equally involved there. Sorry, Ty.
At Owasso Speedway, I saw one of the Fredricksons break the speed limit sign on pit road on foot.
It definitely wasn't Dan. It definitely wasn't Dan.
No, it wasn't Dan.
Dan's
wasn't
built
Dan.
like me.
Yeah. So, Tim, we got you here. You got the 58th annual Snowball Derby shirt on.
Oh, nice
58th annual. I can't believe – I feel like I was just down here a few years ago. We were celebrating the golden anniversary. You ever just sit back and be like, I just can't believe 58? That's crazy.
You know what, Brandon? We spent several years thinking, man, if we could just get to the 50th.
Yep.
And it's hard to believe that was in 2017.
Sheesh.
And, here we are at the 58th, and now, we're talking about some things for the 60th. But, time goes on, and hey, listen, when we're gone, someone else will pick up the reins and probably continue the Snowball Derby, we hope, into eternity.
Let me ask you a question. I think the scuttlebutt in the pit area, and I think it's going to carry on through this, is going to be the change in tire for the super late models, for the Snowball Derby. You're not a guy that just owns a racetrack. You know about these race cars. You're a racer yourself. What do you think about this tire? What are you guys hoping that this, new tire, Hoosier tire, is going to bring to this race this year?
Well, you know what? I'm very optimistic. We're going to see some great racing. I mean, first off, let's back up. We went to the ST tires that Hoosier built, and you know what? They built the tire the racers asked for, and they did too good of a job. It was too good of a tire. The cars were running wide open every lap. There just wasn't a tremendous amount of passing going on. So, now we're on the F45 Star tire, and there's some fall off. Setup's going to be important. Drivers being able to pick the proper line and manage their tires is going to be ultra important, especially in a 300 lap race on Sunday, and to some degree the 125 lap race on Saturday. So the preliminary testing that we've had here, it's all been positive. So tires are listen. It's an easy excuse for a guy that has a bad day or a bad setup. I got a bad tire. And hey, listen, sometimes I guess they are out there. But overall, I think we're on to something really good that's going to yield some really good racing.
Love tire fall off. I love long runs, okay? And that leads me to my next question. The Alan Turner Hyundai Pro Late models. We're going from the Snowflake 100. I'm having a hard time.
I can't do it.
I can't do it. It's a Snowflake 125 now. But I absolutely personally love the move. Tell the people at home, what's the big deal? It's only 25 laps extra, but that adds a new element to that race. What was the reasoning behind going from 100 to 125 for the Pro Late models?
So I tell you, there was two reasons. Number one, we went to 125 laps. The last couple of races, the Snowflake 100s, have been won from the pole. And so, we want to see some movement in the field. So, we decided to add the extra distance in. That was before there became a change in the tires. So once we went to a softer tire, in essence, we thought, well, you know what? We better yield on the side of safety and make this a 6-tire race. So we're going to take a break at lap 75, no controlled caution. It'll be a 5-minute break. We'll bring all the cars down pit road. When the last one's in, we'll blow a horn. They'll have 5 minutes to work on our car, get back out without losing position, and get 2 tires. So the last 50 laps of that race is really going to be a shootout. But I think it's going to be a whole different dynamic of a race.
70-plus drivers on the entry list for that race, Tim. Do you think that change was a attributing factor to that, or is there something else, or is just pro late model racing in general just very healthy right now?
Well, it has been, and of course there's so much racing going on in this country, and it's all some good racing, and so we have to really be careful picking and choosing and scheduling our events so that they're on top of each other, so that we can all share all these cars. We're blessed with a date that we're the only game in town this weekend, so we got a big litter to pick from. But anyway, Pro Late Model racing is healthy. I think there's lots of talk out there about the costs being so high and what have you, and there's a really smart group of people working on that. I will tell you this: there's going to be some changes in 2027 to try to reduce costs down. Having said that, that's a long-term goal. We can't spring changes like that on people.
Not this late in the game.
No. So we're not doing that for 2026. So anyway, we're really happy, and we had a especially strong contingent from the West and the Northwest. We're really happy about that. So, man, I think the Snowflake is just going to be one barn burner.
Now, we've always asked you what your favorite part of the Derby is, okay? And you always say, I don't know, because you're so busy doing things. Do you have a favorite part of the Derby when you look backwards at a weekend?
Well, I'll tell you this. The favorite part of this Derby is being here with you guys right now.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. He's so full of it, his eyes are brown now. I'm just kidding.
No, I tell you, it's been a tough week. We've been extremely busy. And listen, I don't want to avoid the elephant in the room here. We all know that we have some weather, a lousy weather forecast. But this is Florida. It's
lousy
for
the week, but not lousy for, let's get it straight. Saturday looks pretty good, and Sunday, race day, looks really good. So let's get that. It looks good to my weather
Depends
forecast.
what app you're looking at, too,
right?
Great.
Hey, listen, I've looked at every one of them. But, listen, in all honesty, and I think everybody here knows this, our main priority is to run Sunday's race on Sunday at 1 p.m.
Yep.
And the weather looks like we're going to be able to do that. So that's our goal. The rest of the stuff, we've already made some alternative schedules just to have in the bank, if you would. So we're got to be prepared for whatever Mother Nature throws at us. And by the way, I want to thank our friends from NASCAR. They're sending a jet dryer up here from Daytona. Help us dry that racetrack.
That's great. That NASCAR involvement, that's where a lot of that helps too.
It does.
And you look at, like, from the signage when you walk in, the gate with the big NASCAR, entrance and whatnot. The evolution of this race, now it's on FloRacing. It's not pay-per-view anymore either. It's expanding the fan base of this race. What do you think some of the next steps could be for this facility, for this race? Because I'm seeing the upgrades that you guys are doing. Like, people at home might not think it's big, but the spotter stand being expanded, those guys were having a hard time spotting up there, and I used to hear about it all the time. The little things that you guys are doing, chipping away at making this such a premier facility, what sort of things are maybe on the docket that you'd like to do in the next few years?
Well, I'll tell you, we try, our improvements by necessity are kind of a work in progress. So we try each year to give something to the whole group. We also, this year, we did something for our spotters. We also did something for our technical inspection station down there. We did an expansion on that. So we've got some more room to work with down there, and that's a whole lot better facility. By the way, I got to make a call out to our friend Rex Wheeler at Owasso Speedway. He has raised the bar for racetracks all around this country with the improvements he made there, and we're certainly not on that level, but it's nice to go to a facility like that and say, hey, listen, this is what I could go home and do to our place to make it a little bit better. But that being said, we made some improvements to our facilities. We're always trying to upgrade this, that, or the other, and we try to give something to the fans, try to give something to the competitors, and then along the way we try to do a few things for our officials as well.
I got to ask one question, because we had dinner last year at McGuire's. We've been here to the ticket a million times. We love this place. Last year this year I kind of hinted to you, all these years coming down here, I never enjoyed Pensacola. I never went out to nice dinners. We never went out to the beach. And the last 2 years, I've gotten to experience that. For the fans at home that are thinking about making a trip to the Snowball Derby, besides coming to Five Flags Speedway to see a great week of racing, you can bring your families. Explain how this is a tourist destination here. Pensacola, your racetrack, this whole week.
Well, listen, our community has supported Five Flags Speedway since its inception, long before the Bryant family took over. We've got a great racing community, but this is just a great city. There's a lot here to offer. We've got the single biggest tourist attraction between New Orleans and Jacksonville in the National Museum of Naval Aviation, right down from the racetrack. Of course, the Blue Angels practice during the week. They have a show just for that. And, of course, a couple of big shows during the year. We've got a great ice hockey team. I know you guys are big on that.
I want to see that.
Yeah, well, they're playing this weekend. If we have a night of rain, maybe we can catch a hockey game.
I'd like to see that.
But
hopefully we're not.
Anyway, we got a great minor league baseball team here. We got a dynamic downtown atmosphere.
Yep.
Just a lot of good things going on. The vibe is really strong here in Pensacola. And so when folks come to the races, and even during our Blizzard Series races during the year, we always invite people down a day or two early to enjoy themselves.
And most importantly for us, especially me and Matthew, good food. Like that's what we want, right? Right? He's looking around. Yeah.
we certainly have it here, and hey, some great sports bar food right here at the Ticket. And I want to thank Todd Hofstetter and his crew for having us here tonight, hosting this event.
Oh, trust me, this isn't the last time we'll be here, okay? Because after the Snowball Derby, each night we're going out for late night eats, and it used to be drive-throughs. Now we're like, no, baby, we're going to the Ticket. They support the Snowball Derby. We support them.
There you go.
Now, Tim, as far as you talk about the investments into the facility, and then last year, obviously, we saw the purse increase for the Snowball Derby. Seems like every year there's something you're looking to continue building the event. How difficult as a promoter is that to do to continue to be forward-thinking? What can the next step be to continue to grow this event?
Well, listen, there's lots of things to our facility. Certainly we'd like to upgrade. And by the way, you mentioned the purse increases last year. Without any fanfare this year, we've raised the purses again in all of our divisions outside of the Snowball Derby. The Alan Turner Snowflake 125 has got an increased purse, and we put it in the middle of the purse, and we raised the start money on that race. So
that's why you get 74 cars to something like that. That's great. That's
I believe
awesome.
It helps. Listen, I wish we could have had a magic wand and we could control what these guys spend to run a race like this, because it's a lot.
Right.
We realize that, but we want to reward them the best we can, and along with a decent purse, we just want to give them a good experience. I mean, we work tirelessly trying to organize the event, and it probably won't seem like that a couple of times during this weekend. It'll seem like utter chaos, and that just kind of goes with a big event. But anyway, we do the best we can to kind of manage everybody and ensure that they have a good time, and it don't matter if they're going in the pit gate or in the grandstand gate.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, thank you for everything you do for Snowball Derby, but thank you for everything you do for racing, because this isn't just a one-trick pony here. Your racetrack is running all year long, and you're involved in so much within the late model world, too, in areas that other people don't see. We appreciate you. Plus, we appreciate your friendship. So, hey, we're going to take a quick break here at the Ticket, and when we come back, we're going to have a good lineup of drivers, and we're going to have Rob, hopefully, maybe not any more volleyball, but he'll have a bunch of drivers, too. We'll be back on FloRacing.
There he is, 1 year ago, Kaden Honeycutt, Snowball Derby winner, back in Pensacola now. How much different does this feel this year, coming back as the defending winner, the man who took home that trophy behind us?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild for sure. I never really grasped what it took until you and Rob had come and sat down in my house and really talked about what the race meant to me and what everything has led to the moment of racing the biggest short track race in history of Snowball Derby. And be able to be fortunate enough to win it, it was just really, really incredible. And it's all thanks to the people that have made the impact of my life and my career to lead me up to that moment. Every single race I've ran in my career led up to that Sunday to bring home that Tom Dawson trophy. But now we got another one we're going to try to get this weekend. Hopefully we can get as much as we can in.
You know, I look a lot of times and I see like things in snapshots or like visuals in my mind. You know, when you look back now at the footage that we just saw, or you look back at the social media moment with your parents going crazy in the grandstands, what are the things that you look at from that now and you look back and you're like, man, I can't believe it. That is just so cool.
Yeah, it's especially the video of my mom and dad for sure. I think seeing that was just like, man, like everything that they have sacrificed, vacations, homes, like we've moved so many times in order for me to race, moved up like 6 hours away to better dirt tracks. I can come up and run dirt cars, and to have them there and experience that in the grandstands was pretty freaking incredible, honestly. I don't know if there will be a feeling like that maybe until I can win a truck race or Xfinity or Cup race one day, but yeah, just really incredible. And to have that experience with my dad has been bringing me here since I've been a little kid. So
did you really get to learn to walk here? You know,
yes,
Rob tells me
I
that.
promise you, yes.
That's
on
awesome.
an F45 tire, I came here and was able to walk. And it's pretty incredible. And, you know, just be able to do that and win here at Snowball Derby just means a lot to me and my family for sure.
When we spoke to you last year on the backstretch after you cleared tech, you were the official winner. You still said it hadn't sunk in. How long did it finally take till you were sitting at home, or what was it where it finally was like, holy cow, I'm a Snowball Derby winner?
Yeah, it was. Like I said, I think it is when they actually sat down in my house and
Really?
talked
You took
about
that
it.
long?
A year.
Yeah,
Wow.
I really never. It really never hit my mind like what it took to be able to win that race and how many people that have tried to attempt this race, not just to make it, but also to win it. And, you know, to be able to do that and be fortunate enough to win it, and with an amazing two owners I've been able to race with Pat and Larry and Pat and Cook Electric, just everyone that's helped us get there. And without those two, I wouldn't have even been in a race car to begin with. And just thankful that we get to come back and try it again.
Now, there's a lot of FloRacing fans that know you from your crossover. You know, you've been a dirt racer, you're a pavement racer. There's a lot of dirt fans on FloRacing, and you know, I kind of look at what you did last year. In my opinion, it was kind of like a little Jack Hewitt-ish. You know, and I love Jack Hewitt. He's one of my favorite people in the sport. This
Can you quote that?
What?
You want to quote him or no?
I'm not going to quote him. I've hung out with him enough to know that everything he says is pretty quotable, and some of it's not.
Yeah.
But you know, him running different disciplines, you know, is something that made him an incredible driver and dynamic talent. You know, I look at last year at the Derby, you running all the different cars. How many cars are you running this year? How many different cars are you going to try to run in this Snowball Derby weekend?
Well, I'm going to pretty much do the same thing I did last
Okay.
year. The mod, Pro Truck, Flake, obviously, and the Snowball. So
4.
I got 4.
So we can't get you a Crown stock or nothing?
I can't tell you how many people have called me and tried to get
really?
a Crown Vic. I'm like, I appreciate it so much that y'all let me even consider driving it, but I think I'm going to sit out. You guys are absolutely insane for doing that, but I love watching that. But, yeah, I feel like those 4 races – you do a lot of mock runs during the weekend with the super stuff from like Thursday to Friday, and then you get 1 1-hour session Saturday. And I really feel like racing every night and being in like the race trim mode for me, and no matter what type of car it is, it kind of keeps me in the groove of the racetrack and also kind of keeps up with what's going on. So I feel like if I can do all 4 of those, and also I'd like to go out and try to make history and win 4 races in one weekend. So just the kind of guy I am, I just want to go race anything that's got wheels and tires on it. And we'll try to go and do that this weekend. But yeah, I feel like the 4 cars definitely helped me all the way to Sunday last year for sure.
Now, luckily for you, a lot of those divisions, they're not all on the same day, so you get to spread them out a little bit. But last year, I mean, what did you learn about your time management with the weekend, bouncing between all the different cars?
Yeah, obviously it's hard to have all the cars in the same pit area. So pretty much I pretty much walked everywhere I was going at last year between the Super and the Flake and all the other ones. So
did we
this
at least
year
get a
I
scooter?
got a scooter.
There we go, scooter.
I've got a scooter.
He's scooting.
And
we have a scooter gang, in case you didn't know. Me and MD.
Ross had a scooter in his garage that I recently moved into his house, and he had a scooter in there. So I'm going to steal it from him, and I'm going to use it for this weekend because last year was pretty tough with it. It wasn't terrible, but I feel like if I can release some stress down and not do so much cardio over the weekend, I think I'd be in better shape.
Well, hey, I was down here the other week for the Snowball Derby preview, and I was watching you test out there. And we talked a little bit about this afterwards. But, you know, the F45 Star tire, you know, this is a tire that you know from running Cars Tour. What do you think this tire is going to bring to this Snowball Derby that might be different than what we've seen here in the last few years?
I think you're definitely going to see a lot of fall off for sure. I think taking care of this tire, especially with the Super, is going to be more important than I think it was in a late model stock, and it's kind of weird to say that, but to me, I feel like the speeds are so much more on throttle time. It's more pressure on the right front tire. The places like Florence, Myrtle Beach, and it just wears tires out really hard. So I feel like this tire is going to really benefit the guys that are good on the long run, like Majeski's really good on the long run. Butcher's been really good this year. So I think we definitely got to step up a little bit more from last year on our long run speed. We had really good short run speed, but we really got to step that up. There's a lot of different setup stuff that we had found over our preview testing and also the 20 laps we got yesterday. So yeah, I feel like we are in the step in the right direction for sure. And this tire is going to produce some great racing, I think, and it's going to benefit the guy that takes care of it the most, like Bubba Pollard and those people.
Now, coming into this year, I don't want to say you were an underdog last year, but you weren't maybe talked about with the Ty Majeski's, Bubba Pollard, Stephen Nassie's. This year you come here, you're the guy now being chased. You were probably, even you yourself would admit, you were chasing those guys last year. Those are the guys you want to beat. This year, you're that guy. How different of that, and does that make you more motivated?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm very motivated when I get to the track, whether I've won a race or won 100 million of them. Just I'm just that type of guy. I just want to go out and win every single week. And I mean, obviously the stats don't lie. I finished 30th, 26th, 5th, 23rd, and I won last year. So like, you don't really. I wasn't going to that race, I think, people thinking maybe I was just a hot lapper, but I really didn't understand how to drive the racetrack, I feel like, until last year. I've really studied. Yes, I mean, there's no lie.
How
like
so?
It's very technical.
Yeah.
The race line's very technical, and I feel like you can test for a month every single day with the same race car and show up Sunday and have a completely different approach. And I feel like that last year, that's kind of what I did. My practice and race trim on my race mentality was completely different. So I feel like from having to know the race line on the inside wall is very important into turn 1 to get all the grip in the world. And turn 3 and 4 is the hardest corner of the racetrack, I feel like. So it took me that long to figure out how to drive the racetrack. I still am learning to this day, but I feel like last year I was the most prepared going into the race.
You never stop learning.
No.
Once you stop learning, you get slow.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was even looking at our boys at the Black Flag podcast put out some odds, and you're plus 600. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good bet, though, for the guy that won it last year.
That's not bad.
I mean, I think it should be a little bit higher than that, but
I mean, maybe if we can win 2 of them. Maybe
I mean, that puts
go
you
up
in
even
rare
more.
air.
Yeah,
too.
then you're in a rare category there.
So let me ask you, too. You know, we talked about the tire. You have 70 or 75 lap max runs?
75.
75
for stages for comp yellows.
So are you really trying not to hurt the tire at the beginning of the run? Is that what it is?
I would say so. I mean, I won't tell everybody because they'll sit there and watch this, but it's pretty obvious. You got to take care of it. And the guys that have been testing, I mean, we all know we've been on it for the last month, everyone that's been down here on the racetrack. But I think you will see a major difference between the start to finish of the run on who's really good the first 10 laps and who's good on lap 30 to 70 is going to be a major difference between those two.
You guys had a little bit of a hiccup in testing already. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully we got 20 laps in and we were able to blow the motor up a little bit earlier in the week instead of being in on Friday or Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. So yeah, we'll have that engine change. My guys worked really hard today, got that done, and we'll come back and hopefully have a good session on Thursday to get back in the groove.
Did you see the volleyball performance from Rob Blount earlier?
I showed up at the last second. I really want to know how it went.
You missed it?
Did he win?
No, well, he and Ty Majeski. I'm just
Ty
surprised
Fredrickson.
Ty, the other Ty.
Yeah. From Wisconsin.
No,
he's Minnesota.
Well, they're
Minnesota.
both. Yeah,
Sorry.
Minnesota.
Sorry.
But anyway, like, we thought that it would just be a miraculous thing if Rob Blount could even make contact with the ball. And we thought that maybe Ty Fredrickson would think that Rob's head was the ball. but it just happened. It was like, I really want to nominate it for, like, Sports Center Plays of the Week.
Did he spike one?
No, don't give it that much.
No, let's not go there that much. But
on that note, though, Kaden, appreciate you jumping on. Rob's somewhere around here. We got to find what the heck he's up to next.
What has he been doing lately?
Where is Rob? He's just been sitting around. I don't know.
Oh, there's a Snowflake trophy for the Alan Turner Hyundai Snowflake. Hey, Rob, where are you, buddy?
Well, I'm back here near the pool tables, and I'm making this face because we're already making ball jokes. I see how it is. No, Kaden, I didn't spike it because I had a microphone stuffed into my shirt. It's really hard to jump up and do that. One thing that apparently isn't hard is playing pool for Luke Baldwin here because you're already 1 win in. Is that a good sign for this weekend here? Oh, you're 2 wins in. When did you do that? Last I saw you were chasing down the pizza.
Right, no, I beat Jack, smoked him, my brother. Then I beat my spotter, Colby. And then I looked like a track star going after my cheese pizza because I accidentally hid the sign so he couldn't find it. But, yeah, we're off to a good start here.
Usually the signs that they give you, the number placards, so that they can find you are supposed to be visible, just so you know.
So I tried. I put it back on the shelf, and then, it's a crowded area. People stood in front of it. Hindsight, not the most visible shelf, so, that's on me.
Are you going to be more visible for your spotter this weekend?
Yeah, I hope so. We got some bright yellow and red stripes, and hopefully it'll be out front so he'll know which direction to look. But, I hope so. Hopefully Colby can guide me the right way because Lord knows here I need it. I haven't really raced that well here the past 2 years, but we've always had speed. So, really excited. The 51 car's been on a rail all year, and Rickway Racing's given me a great opportunity to come drive it, and great people working on it and great partners all year. So, I'm pumped to do it. We usually unload good, and hopefully this weekend will be no different.
Your stripes are solids right now.
I don't want to talk about it right now. We're 2v2 now, so unfortunately stripes.
All right, well, you got to make your next hit. I'm going to move around the table here because we've found a bunch of people. Your brother Jack is very deep into a bite. Jack, how's the pizza?
It's really good here, to be honest. I'm kind of shocked. Great place, tickets, great pizza. If you're ever down here, come check it out.
Great endorsement for Jack Baldwin, man of many words here. Also a fellow racer himself. We're just going to keep moving around here because I don't know what Jake Finch is doing. He's going to be up on the stage in a little bit. We found Jade Avedissian. Your first snowflake this weekend. Is it going to go better than your pool game is going currently?
I sure hope so, because this isn't too good. So I got one slip shot and I hit the wrong ball in. So all in all, though, I'm really excited to race this week. This obviously is a really cool event, and just excited to be a part of it.
How did you hit the wrong ball in? Was it on a ricochet, or did you forget where you were? How does that happen?
Just I wasn't really paying attention. Ricochet, we'll call it ricochet.
The not paying attention is okay because there's a lot of noise, right? How do you cut through the noise this weekend and go get a snowflake win?
I don't know. I feel like I never really not pay attention, but I never really let people's thoughts, opinions kind of affect what I'm doing. So I just kind of stay level-headed and just go race my heart out. Realistically, I feel like I've always kind of had that attitude of just kind of go give my best effort, and whatever that is what it is. So like I said, though, all in all, I'm really excited to race. So
2 women have won the Snowball Derby. You became the first woman to win any division with the car store earlier this year. I don't believe a woman has ever won the Snowflake 125. This year it's 125. Normally it's been 100 up until this year. How special would that be for you to be able to lay claim to that little bit of history?
Yeah, for sure. It'd be really cool. But anything in the history books is obviously really special. But it's going to be a long week, though. I feel like our main priority is to get better on tires, and I feel like we have really good race pace just based off practice last week. But it doesn't matter if you don't qualify in. So just put a lot of focus and emphasis on that this week, and hopefully we get a test, and hopefully the weather stays out, and we just get better on tires and mocking up, and just go race.
All right, well, I'm going to let you get back to your pool game because I see a potential maybe altercation going on back here with Gavin Boschel. Let's go. Do you know what's going on here? What's going on here? We got to get the camera in here. Wait. We got to break it up. He just announced big news. Leave Gavin alone. Yeah, break it up, Luke.
Let's go.
You know what? We're just going to let it go. Ding, ding, ding. No, he's not going. All right, Gavin, big news today. I don't know if the new team would be too thrilled to see you fighting at the Ticket Sports Bar 2 tonight. What do you think?
Probably not, but it's Platt. So, I mean, I'm down to give him a little beating anytime I get the chance. He looks like a big guy, but, he's kind of soft inside. So
he's not paying attention right now. You can get him.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's paying attention.
Yeah, go Dogs, baby. But, he's a great guy.
Ask him what happened to his hotel room. Jake Finch, who's going to be on stage, says, ask what happened to Gavin Boschel's hotel room. Is this an appropriate story here?
Yeah, it's PG-13. So I walk into my hotel, and my crew chief, Dennis, my crew guy, Brandon, and Jade's crew chief, Tyler, and someone else, another crew guy, flipped my mattresses, hit all my clothes. Microwave was in the bathroom. I had a mattress inside the bathtub. There was furniture and stuff on I don't know. It was crazy. I was freaking out. I couldn't find any of my clothes, and then they came helping to get it. But yeah, it was crazy. My face was I was shocked. I thought I was about to see a squatter in the bathroom because the door was closed.
All right, so what you're saying is we need your first Snowball Derby week to go a little bit better than how things have gone in the hotel room so far.
Yeah, we were saying we had a good practice. I've been here since Friday, so practice Saturday, Sunday, we were really fast. So I'm happy with our piece, and I think we're going to have a good shot at it. A little nervous, but first Derby is always exciting. So I'm excited for the atmosphere, all the fans. It's going to be really cool. So it's a big stage, and hopefully we can come out on top.
Is the race car winning the best appearing car contest this week?
I think it might. That thing's a bad looking boy. She looks good, so I hope so. And
the hat's gone. There it goes. We're back in. Luke just got it off. They're trying to go back here. We got plenty of time this weekend to fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get him. I mean, he's not even running my division, so it's not even worth fighting. So he can have his own time.
Guys, we're going off the rails here. They're trying to fight back here. Please get us back on track.
Only Rob.
I don't think we're going to get that group back on track. I know those Baldwin boys. That ain't going to happen. But, of course, Gavin Boschel's going to be running a FloRacing logo on that car. That's kind of cool, too. But, hopefully they got video of that hotel fiasco.
I know.
Derek Griffith, have you ever had, whacked out hotel fiascos and pranks?
No way with your crew. No way. Your crew is on best behavior.
Comment.
With Louie and Dolly, they never.
You ever did the DT 100, right?
DT, oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say.
What's the best prank that your team's been a part of with you? You got to have a story.
I don't know if they prank me. They more haze me.
Oh,
I get hazed pretty bad. It was a long childhood, but I feel like it's made me a better person today. So I got to thank them for that.
Who was the worst hazer?
Oh, Louie. Definitely Louie. Yeah.
Definitely.
Louie was the worst.
See, and Louie, to me, he seems more like when he's at the racetrack. He seems more like the quiet guy.
Oh yeah, at the shop. He's a jokester. He likes
the quiet ones you have to watch out for.
True.
They live on a little pond, like a lake in Kingsborough, Mass. And tubing. He had this little boat called the Hydro Stream. It'd run 93 miles an hour. And we'd go tubing behind it because we didn't know any better. And sure enough, we'd end up in the lily pads. We'd up 20 feet in the air. And, that was pretty tough. That one hurt a couple times.
So back in Pensacola.
Yes.
Last year, you missed this race for dealing with some health issues. You're back this year. How good does it feel to be sitting here in Pensacola tonight?
It was awesome to go from watching it on TV last year to coming down and being a part of it. It feels really good. I had a rough kind of end of the year last year, and I'm much happier, much better place now, and I can't thank my guys enough for working so hard over the winter, over the season to get me here. I wouldn't be anywhere without the Michelides family, my father, Ricky and Andrea, and so many others. So it's been a crazy year and crazy couple years, but glad to be back.
So you said you watched it on TV last year. Delve into that a little more. Like, what was that like? How much, as a competitor, if you're in hockey and you're watching from the press box, athletes talk about how they see the game differently, but it hurts them deep inside. What was it like for you?
Yeah, it was a killer for me because it was Kaden came and won, and that was like such a relatable story. Like I feel like I wouldn't say I'm like Kaden in many ways, but we were kind of both short track guys,
right.
And to see him come out and break out in his year, and I know we have the potential of doing something like that one day. It was hard because I was sitting on the couch not feeling good watching the Snowball Derby in my own sorrows, but no, it was great because I got to kind of play strategic, like, oh, well, this is what it must feel like to be a crew chief or whatever. I wouldn't have done that, or I would have done this, and him and Nasty battling it out at the end and everything. It was good. It was a really good race. So it hurt, but it gave me the fuel to come back and give it another go.
Well, the good thing is, Kaden won, and now, he was sitting in this chair. Yep. Now you're sitting in this chair.
Big shoes.
So since he won last year, does that mean you're going to win this year?
Next in line, right?
Yeah,
that's how that works.
Yeah, he warmed up the seat for you.
How about his season, too, in truck stuff? Like almost winning a championship, winning the Derby, that is short track racing for
us. And the Derby puts you on the map. Let's just be honest, because there's guys that we all see talent, right? When we're at the racetrack, whether it's in a modified or a late model, we're like, man, that guy's a real racer. Oh, look at this guy. He's really good. When you win a race like the Snowball Derby, look at what happened to Eric Jones.
I know.
That's a great example. People that had seen him race, say, in Michigan, in late models are like, okay, that kid's pretty darn good. This is the race that can put you on the map and change that trajectory.
It's where legends are made. It says it right out front, where legends are made.
Yeah, and obviously you're getting a little older in your career, but do you still look at it like that?
Did you just call him old?
Older.
Oh, okay.
Doing this for like 15
don't
years.
let him call you old.
Isn't that crazy? 15 years
I've
been doing
crazy.
this?
When was your first? You were at Star Speedway probably when I first saw you race. What, 15, 16?
So, yeah, maybe. My first late model race was in 2012.
Okay.
Actually, 2011, if you want to get technical, because I ran Lee Speedway's Oktoberfest.
Okay.
I didn't make it to the race because I spun out in practice and hit the wall. So then the next race, my first ever race, Granite State race, I finished second at Monadnock Speedway in the JBH Memorial in 2012. So yeah, it's been it's been 13 years of running a late model, and I'm doing it with the same people.
Yep.
The same crowd, most of the same sponsors and everything. So it's cool. I'm super fortunate. I have such a good group, and they've carried me the last 2 years for sure.
And you did get a few opportunities in the NASCAR ranks, in the Truck Series and Xfinity. But when you come back down here, do you still have that mentality of like, if I win this race, that could open the door for something?
Yeah, 100%. I got my taste of it for sure. I got to run the ARCA, the trucks, and Xfinity stuff, and it was amazing. Those experiences are some of the best parts of my life that I remember. I don't know if I fit the mold quite right. Like I was kind of like a square block in a round hole. I went down there, North Carolina, and it was hard to fit in. A lot of the guys just kind of play golf all week and goof off and mess around. And I mean, that's amazing for them. That's such a cool thing that they get to do. But I had a hard time kind of assimilating with everyone there. Sam Hunt and Chad Bryant, and I ran for KBM, but Sam Hunt and Chad just treated me so good. They were like family to me. I still talk to Chad and Sam when I can. Can't thank them enough for everything they did. But if I ever had the funds to do it, of course I'm going to do it. All of us are the same. We're going to hammer down and go as hard as we can. But it's chasing sponsors and doing it. We don't have the money to do it, really, essentially, is what it comes down to. So, and I had my heart broken. I had a deal, a contract lined up to run a truck season. Really? Done. It was all done. I toured the sponsors' facility in North Carolina, Wilson, North Carolina. I spent so much time on this deal. In 3 days before the contract signing, it tanked. The CMO got fired. They merged with another company. Everything went wrong, and I'm like, it was just a sign that like this wasn't the right time, or it wasn't the right place. So that was like a big heartbreaker because I put so much resources into that, and then to have the carpet pulled underneath me was just heartbreaking. So But again, I mean, if I ever wanted to chase it again, I think I could. I'd probably run like a truck at New Hampshire Motor Speedway first and see where that goes. So hopefully that whole Dodge deal comes together, and maybe I can run Loudon. But we'll see. Hopefully they're watching.
There you go. Do you hear that, Chris Rice? You talk about having that opportunity. You talk about coming back here to the Snowball Derby. The last time you ran here was your best finish, 7th. This trophy right behind us, the Tom Dawson Trophy. Okay,
So
you're from another world away, man.
Yep.
But this trophy to a short tracker just means so much. What would it mean to have this on your mantle?
It's everything. I mean, it's I think me and Louis can do it one day.
Yep.
I have a really good feeling. I really do think we can. And I think that would be amazing for New England because really no one comes down here and runs a Derby. I don't know why. I know it's a really difficult race to get into.
Yes.
It's hard. It's expensive. But the guys back home are hard-nosed racers. I know they can come down here and run good.
A lot of very capable racers.
Yeah, yep. It's just very difficult. I think they're scared of the race. But if I ever brought that home to New England, I mean, yeah, that would be the icing on the cake. I say it all the time. If I ever went down as a good late model racer, maybe not comparable to Bubba by any means, but if I was ever remembered as a good late model racer, that would make me happy as an old man one day when I'm drinking beers at the bar with my buddies and, you remember that time at the Snowball Derby in 2025 or 26? Like, that would be everything to me. So, and hopefully my son either loves racing or likes to like golf instead, and it'll be a lot cheaper for him.
Golf isn't cheap though.
Like tennis, anything.
Tennis might be balls in a racket.
Whatever's cheaper than racing.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling he's probably gonna love it, and I'm gonna be screwed. So
any kid you bring around it loves it. I want to keep my kid away from it at times, and it's like no, we're sucked right back in. So
yeah, I love it.
What is it? What did it for you as a young kid? What did it for you that drew you in? I always like to know that because it could be you at 5, it could be you at 2. Everybody's got that story.
Super cool story. So I grew up in Hudson, New Hampshire, less than 3 miles from Hudson Speedway. And Hudson Speedway had this really cool deal where if you lived within a certain mile radius of the racetrack, you'd get in for free because you could hear the race cars. That was their listen, the race cars are loud, I'm sorry, but come to the racetrack for free. Whatever, hang out, the whole 9. So I used to go as a kid and watch my father race these little bomber cars, flagpoles, enduros, smash-around cars.
Nice.
He had like 72 Monte Carlos, the big blocks in them.
Yeah.
And his number was XXX. It was so, to me, he's my hero.
A legend at Star Speedway,
literally,
right?
he's won the Halloween Howler twice. Big deal.
Oh, wow. Big deal.
Big deal. Shout out Recon John.
Yeah.
So that's what got me into it.
Okay.
We did it for fun. He made me pick between football and racing. I bought a Volkswagen Golf for $600. It was an enduro car. They had a kids division, and we kind of took it from there. And I blew my mini stock motor up the year after, and Louis Michelidis rebuilt it. He's like, hey, you guys want to run a late model? And we bought one of Denny Hamlin's short track showdown cars cut it all up and turned it into an Outlaw. And then he said, do you want to drive my pro stock? So it's just kind of spiraled into what it is now.
Well, Derek Griffith is back now for his 6th Snowball Derby this year, and great to have you back down. Great to have you healthy. Great to have Louis, Dolly, the whole gang down here. We're going to have a good time for the rest of this show. We got so much more coming up. We have some of the hottest late model drivers in the country. We have Rob Blount doing stupid human tricks. We've got it all here at the Ticket Sports Bar for the Snowball Derby. We'll be back after a short break. We are back live on FloRacing at the Ticket Sports Bar in Pensacola, Florida, getting you ready, kicking it off for the 58th annual Snowball Derby. And we're joined by the hottest driver in Pensacola in 2025, Canadian Cole Butcher, joining us right here. And man, you were red hot this year at Pensacola in the Blizzard Series.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, we've been pretty good here all year. My Wilson Motorsports 28 Toyota Camry's been pretty solid. So, yeah, we were lucky enough to come away with 3 victories and a 5th place finish, so I can't really complain. Confidence is pretty high coming into this weekend.
So, hey, we had Kaden Honeycutt on here, and we were talking about the new tire, okay? And it's expected that we're going to have to manage our tires a little bit more. Well, in the Snowball Derby the past few years, you've had 70-lap runs, max runs, green flag runs. Just confirmed that it's actually 100-lap max runs this year as far as green flag length runs. This is going to play into it. You know, that F45 Star tire, what do you think? What's your thoughts now testing on it and with that news?
Yeah, I personally think after lap 50, you're going to have an egg under your right foot. So I'm looking forward to that. I honestly told everybody I hope it's 90 degrees outside because it's going to separate the men from the boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think Hoosier brought a great tire. It's very repetitive in practice, but I think once you get a heat cycle on it and once you get going for a consecutive amount of laps, it does wear out. That's what we all want. So we'll have to wait and see come Sunday.
You mentioned the egg under the gas pedal, and that's something I hear. I'm an Oxford guy, growing up in Maine. That's something you hear at Oxford a lot, driving around there. Obviously 2 completely different tracks, but you were a 2-time winner of that race. Do you think that kind of feeds into your driving style, so to say?
I would say yes now, as maybe 2 or 3 years ago, no. But yeah, for sure. I think I've gained a lot of confidence in myself with the super late model side of things, with being able to manage tires and be able to get the best out of, in particular, set of tires. So yeah, I think me racing Oxford a number of years and then moving up the ranks in the super late models and what have you not has helped me. But yeah, we've kind of gone on a little spree of racing pretty hard for a long amount of laps, and I think maybe this new F45 Star will bring it back to how it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Now, I do want to talk a little bit about your career trajectory. When I first started covering you, you were mostly racing up in the Maritimes. You were winning a lot of those races up there. Then you sort of trickled down into Maine. You ran the Oxford 250. We saw you win a couple pass races. And now, fast forward to 2025, you are one of the favorites going into the Snowball Derby. Where do you think all that, what was it that where all that changed for you?
I mean, a lot's happened. So we were fortunate enough to win a couple Oxford 250s. In the meantime, we're racing part-time for Donnie Wilson Racing since 2016, you know, racing up home in the Maritime Pro Stock Tour. I was fortunate enough to get married to a beautiful woman and have a baby. So I live in Mooresville now. So, you know,
so all the success goes to her, is what you're saying.
Basically, I mean, she's the reason why I'm here. And she's not wrong. I live in Mooresville. I race for Wilson Motorsports. I mean, I'm not in Canada anymore, so I have to race Southern Super Series, ASA, Blizzard Series, CRA. So yeah, I mean, I give a lot of credit to her because she deserves it. She's an incredible woman. So yeah, I mean, I have to say it. If I didn't marry her, I'd probably be home working at Atlantic Tilt Load, moving loads around, which I still do. But yeah, I think a lot of it does go to her.
Winning IWK 250s and that sort of stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I was nerd. Okay. Let's just pull the veil off here before we came back from commercial. I'm a nerd, folks, so I always have these stupid little stat things that are worthless, but we were kind of peeking at it here. And, you know, you have an average finish in your 8 starts of 8.125. That's pretty dang good. I know you were saying you wanted to hit the delete button on the 20th place finish last year in that 15th, because in the middle there you got 9th, 3rd, 6th, 3rd, 5th, 4th. What's it going to take to get over that hump and get that Derby win? Because you've been one of the best racers at the Derby now for several years.
Yeah, so what we need to do is see how we started 9th, 2nd, 4th, 17th, 16th, 28th, and 15th. Well, we need to move this 2 to here. And we move this 1 of Kaden Honeycutt's down here, and we'll be good.
Carry the 1. You know,
right? I wasn't very good at math, but I think that's how it's going to get done. But, I mean, we've struggled the last number of years in qualifying because I think I think my maturity kind of got me, and I'm not just stabbing the gas and going as hard as I need to.
So managing the race is
like
what
I
you're
would
saying?
think, yeah. Like before, I was in a super, and I was like, okay, we're gonna drive it like a pro, get back to the gas, turn and go, which we would qualify good. But to come in the race, we'd finish 15th, or I guess finish 9th maybe that year. But yeah, I feel like my racecraft has got 10 times better. Maybe my qualifying has kind of got behind, but I feel like this year, me and my Wilson Motorsports guys, we've kind of found a good happy medium. And we've been qualifying better. We've been racing tremendous, like very good. So yeah, I think you got to qualify up front. You got to be there at every single stage or every single caution, I guess you could say, and be there for the end.
Well, you won all but one Blizzard Series race this year. Quite a season for Cole Butcher, and it's just been one that everybody has you now circled as a favorite. Is that a good pressure, bad pressure, real quick?
I mean, I like the pressure.
I like it. Pressure's a privilege. Hey, Rob, now the pressure's on you. Who do you got?
There's no pressure out here. I'm hanging out with Derek Thorne. You guys have hung out with Derek Thorne before. You know that there's no pressure when you're talking to this guy. Initially, you were sitting, and now he's standing, making me look a lot shorter. Yes, thank you. That helps me out a little bit between the actual stature and confidence, too. I appreciate it. Do you have plenty of confidence coming into this one, going to get a second Snowball Derby, or what?
I feel like we do. To have the affiliation with Port City now and the Highlands Motorsports Group. Obviously, this year hasn't been the year we've wanted. For a lot of it's luck related, but we haven't had the runs we've exactly wanted. But coming up in Nashville, top 3 finish for us there. We've been running the last couple days practicing and stuff like that, and to rely on our teammates like Roderick, Shepard, Raz. Those guys have been really helpful for us and what to do and what not to do. And we're going to keep digging, find the speed we need, and hopefully it puts us in a position to run as good as we want to on Sunday.
So one thing I've noticed tonight is all the young kids are either shooting basketball, we were playing volleyball before, shooting pool. You and your guys are just sitting right here and just hanging out. Is that your experience right here, knowing I just got to hang out?
Yeah, it is. I think you guys, it's awesome to have you guys, by the way, at Flo, the A-team, right? You guys are really good at what you do, and thanks for bringing what you guys do to the sport. It's been probably a decade ago, we were probably first talking with each other at the Derby, but each and every time you come to the Derby, I'm super appreciative to even have the opportunity, what Highlands Motorsports has given me for an opportunity to be here, and just to have the sponsors we have with Appalachian Sucker Punch, El Benedict Tequila, but to just come and experience it, be around people that you're familiar with, have a good time in the process, because there's going to be a day where I'm not able to come to the Derby. This could be my last, you never know. So just to come here and enjoy it, make the most of each one, have some memories, build some memories, I think that's what it's all about.
One of my favorite Derby memories is like 10 years ago, as you mentioned. I went up to you during practice on Thursday and I said, so what does that do? And you said, well, let's get under the car and look. It's the middle of practice for the biggest race of the year, and you're taking me under the car, showing me things. That's always how Derek Thorne's been, but why do you do that? You help people out like that?
That's kind of it's my business, but it's just my nature. I feel like I'm a linguist, more or less. So I've been a truck driver. I've been the guy that pushes the broom. I've been a driver. I've been a crew chief. I've been a car chief. I feel like I've been a tire. I've been a guy that's worn all those hats in racing. So if I see somebody that has a question, I feel like I can at least try to explain it. I'm probably not the best at any of them. What do they call it? The good at all of them, but master of none, or however the verbiage goes. But at the end of the day, I do my best to try to explain things. Not always perfect, but at the end of the day, it's cool to see the fans tune in on Flo, explain things when they need to be explained, if I can possibly do it. So if we got to crawl under a car again this weekend to kill some time, hey man, I'm your guy.
Last year did a great explanation of the differences between the super late model and the pro late model. You can still go check that one out on FloRacing. Real quick, we're going for a second Snowball Derby win. How big would that be for you?
It's massive. Just the undertaking it takes to come and compete against the best guys in the country. The work that goes into coming here and competing. Pensacola is such a unique place that it takes a whole different notebook and a whole different realm of knowledge and expertise and undertaking from friends, family, fans, sponsors, crew. It takes everybody to make this happen. And you come here and you have 70 cars on the pro late list, 60 cars on the super late list. They're coming from all parts of the country, all the best teams, all the best people. To come here and compete and win against or run against the best and win is kind of what it's all about. That's what we always come to do. But to get a number 2 would be a huge accomplishment. For Highlands Motorsports, it's our first year coming here with a super late, so we have a lot of things that we obviously need to go through and work through, but to have these guys behind me and give us a chance to win, especially the affiliation with Port City and Rhett Jones Racing, I feel like we have a really good shot at it.
All right, best of luck, Derek Thorne. We're going to catch up with you plenty of times throughout the week. We're going to try to move this way. I just bumped into a garbage pail. That's something that I typically tend to do as we try to walk backwards here and go over this way and find Dawson Sutton. This poor kid, I told him we will be with you very soon about 35 minutes ago, but we are finally here. You are finally here as one of the hottest drivers in super late model racing this year. So do you feel any pressure coming into this weekend?
Yeah, man. I mean, I love this place, and there's definitely always a little bit of pressure just going into, some of these big crown jewel races. But this is the one that, I just look forward to every year, and this is the one that I really, really want. And, when there's that much pressure on the line, I think that's when I perform the best. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend.
So they just had Cole Butcher up at the desk. He was going for history, potentially winning all 4 Blizzard Series races, and I think you were the one that dethroned that back in September. So what has been the secret of success for you when you've come down here this year?
Yeah, man, this is my favorite track. This is where I won my first ever pro late model race. So I feel like I just have a ton of seat time here, and I've practiced a whole lot on iRacing as well, just making laps. So I feel like I have a ton of seat time here, and I think that just really helps me for these big races. And we tested a few weeks ago when we were really strong. So I'm looking forward to coming Thursday.
Okay, so is the weekend going to go better than the pool game has gone? Because you told me it wasn't going so hot before, right?
Yeah, this is, like I said, a big weekend, and my guys have been putting in a ton of work in the shop, and I'm just super looking forward to just representing them strong, and hopefully you just have a good race car coming Thursday.
What do we got to do to improve the pool game, though? Because you said you lost 2 games before.
Man, I'm not sure. I have a pool table at home, but I'm not sure how to get much better. I'm 0-2 so far tonight, but hopefully we can bounce back and get one here soon.
Who have you been playing with?
Me and Chase Pinsino. He's really good at pool. He said he wasn't very good, but I was pretty surprised. My first game, I got whooped.
I see Chase Pinsino, Cole Roby, Silas Ripley all over here. So how did you guys beat him before? Is he just that bad, or are y'all just better?
I met Dawson back when we were legend car racing.
Well, that is awesome, and I love that. But what I had asked you is, I said, how did you beat Dawson at pool? Is it because you're that good, or is he that bad?
It's because he's that bad.
Yeah. You're going to take that?
Yeah, honestly, like I said, I'm not very good. And, Chase is honestly pretty solid at pool, but hopefully he can get better in the future.
Silas, I caught up with you last year over near the basketball hoop. That was a little bit of a struggle. So is pool more your game?
No, I think I need to stick to basketball.
Really? All right, well, we'll have to get you back on that later. Cole Roby, what do you think? Is pool your game? I don't even know who I'm with anymore over here. You're Cole, you're Chase. Chase, you ran last year. How is pool for you?
Man, I love pool. I've been playing pool for a while, and me and my grandfather used to shoot in the basement, so I've got a little bit of experience, but I'm not super good.
All right, so we'll let you guys get back to this game here while I go and study and remember all of your faces, because there's so many of y'all running between the Derby and the Snowflake this week that it's hard to keep track. Guys, we're going to go back up to you while I figure all this out.
Well, that's okay, Rob. We know who we have on stage with us. We have Snowball, but we also have Jake Finch joining us. I mean, this is like a party up here. Rob, you think you're the one having all the fun. We're having all the fun up here, but Jake Finch, welcome to the desk here. And you got a snazzy new hat on there, new sponsor for the Super Late Model for
Yeah, we got Hendrick cars on it this weekend, so that'll be good. Mr. H is a really good person, and known him a long time through Dad, and just leftover hat from Dover, but nothing new. But just super excited to be able to represent that paint scheme. I know it means a lot to him with Ricky and everything like that. So I can't thank Mr. H and Mrs. H enough. So hopefully we can put it in Victory Lane on Sunday.
So you're looking to put it in Victory Lane Sunday. You're running the double, though.
Yeah.
Because, you are the Alan Turner Hyundai, pro late model champion at Five Flags Speedway this year in the Ronnie Sanders car. Pulling the double, that's either sometimes a challenge or it's a lot of really good learning. Which do you think it is for you?
I don't know. I think you got to look at it both ways, right? I think you just got to. For me, I think that's one thing that I've learned as I've started doing that. I just think you have to have two different kind of mindsets, and for me, I try to just flip a switch in between both of them. So I think you gotta know, and I think through experience, you learn this will work in this car, this won't work in that car. And I think a lot of the things that you learn is just track characteristics. You can be like, okay, the track's picking up a lot of rubber through this session, and if I get right here on the track, then I feel a little bit more glaze or this or that, or I think that's kind of where I try to learn the most, and just racecraft also. When you get out there on Saturday night in the race, you can learn a lot, different things at work. Okay, I can hit this spot, and just I think a lot of that's just, not different from normal racing Pensacola, but, track temp is so much different now than how it was when we first started racing here at Pensacola at the beginning of the year. So, I think it's really good. I love competing and within anything. So being able to compete as much as I can throughout the weekend is awesome. And luckily enough, there's a huge field stacked up for Saturday night. And so I like to think I have a pretty good shot anytime I show up to the racetrack. So I just want to go out there and beat as many people as possible. So that's really my only goal when you show up. So that's it.
We came down here last April, and we announced that Snowball Derby was coming to FloRacing. You took us for a pace car ride. I remember that.
Yeah.
And we were talking to you off camera, and you were just kind of saying how excited you were that Flo had the race and how much you wanted us to promote the race with different storylines and content. So you have a big passion for this race. Why is that?
Yeah, I just think, for me, my dad obviously used to own a Cup team back in the day, so that's kind of how I just started, being
James Finch, by the way, if you're new to the
yeah, but just being around racing, and I think one thing that people don't know about me is that I didn't go to as many races as people thought I did. You know what I mean? I think I showed up to Watkins Glen my first time in ARCA car, and everybody's like, man, how is this place different than when you first came here? I was like, man, I've never been here before. I only really went to Daytona with my dad, and that was really it, in the later years of his run. Like, I wasn't at Talladega when he won or anything like that. And I was just so young, and he was busy, having fun too, and I wasn't supposed to be around. And, but no, I think Snowball Derby was always one that I would come over here, and my godfather, Eddie Mercer, I would always come over here, hang out with Eddie, and it's just been a race that I've always been around. And I think the access to it is one thing that really got me hooked, and I think that's one thing that I like Flo being able to be in and boost that up a little bit more as well. But you can be so much more engaged with the drivers and, engaged with, everything. I feel like throughout the entire weekend, like you can just, be so much closer to the drivers. And so when I first started coming, I was around like Christopher Bell, Eric Jones, Chase Elliott, and all those guys, and, just sit in the pit box with them. And like, I think just that's kind of what got me hooked, was just being so close to everybody and like really just the access to it. And so for me, it's super special just because of how much my dad's cared for it, how much Eddie's cared for it, what it's done in Eddie's life. I saw the clip y'all did with Eddie, and that was, for me, he's one of my best friends and my godfather as well. So just watching how emotional he gets, for that is always something that hits me as well. So I don't know. In my family, it's just always been the biggest thing all year, and that's why I just want everybody else to have the same emotions that me and my family do for it as well.
That's good, because you learn that respect through things like that, the way you grow up. So, speaking of the Finch name, I think of fun when I think of the Finch name. Okay. Did you play in Weeder's golf tournament?
No, I think he's mad at me about
it. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
You know who else plays golf?
Yeah, no, we were
Brandon Paul plays golf. I heard he's a crappy golfer though.
Well, so the deal was I was telling them, I was like, man, we need to do what do you call it, the drive to the Derby? And let's go play golf. Yeah. And y'all all big timed me. I never got a text or anything. I see all these drive to the Snowballs, and I just wasn't cool enough to get in on that.
Are you scared of golfing against him?
I think you are.
The last time I tried to golf on a work trip, Rob Blount got mad at me because he had to pick me up.
He gets mad at everybody. He almost beat up an old man.
True.
True. You got into the swing oil a little bit too much.
They think that I'm just going out. They think that I'm just having all this fun.
He did. He did.
No, I didn't at all. It was a work outing. All right? It was a work golf outing. And Rob got so mad because we were supposed to be at New Smyrna. So now I can't golf because everybody gets mad if I go golfing. So you're going to have to talk to Rob about that.
That was the lamest. That was the lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life.
So we're calling you out that you're the reason that we didn't do a golf.
I will golf in the Derby.
Are we going to do it next year?
If you assign a date, I will be there.
Okay, Monday next year, Monday before the Derby.
Monday next year. You guys are going to shoot it. All I have to do is bring my clubs and play golf.
Hey, bet the over on me. I got it covered, guys. Just go ahead and
What's your handicap?
3.9.
Okay, you got me.
Okay. Yeah.
I got
you got to give me a couple strokes, but it'll be fun.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
I turned into 2000 Tiger when money gets on the line.
He's going to choke. Don't worry. So, I mean, you think Rob Blount's, good at athleticism, watching him out in the volleyball court?
Yeah.
This guy's going to choke. He's from Maine.
We could
he
what
plays
would be
golf
really
with
fun is
a
we could
bunch
do
of
one of
moose.
those Olympics. We could just do a bunch of different ones, different sports.
Like Laugh Olympics?
No, well, you got me covered in that, but we could go play basketball and then play 9 holes and we could have a tally.
Basketball, I just got to post you up.
Some pong.
This guy doesn't understand.
Basketball, just post you up.
I got quickness, man. I'm like AI.
You're
cooked, buddy. You're cooked.
Just post me up.
I'd pay to watch him get cooked. That's I don't know.
You pointed at me. The arrows
all the production
over here.
group over here is nodding, saying, "Yeah, we'd pay to watch Brandon Paul get cooked any day by Jake Finch."
Hey, y'all can show up. Y'all can show. Hey, I know y'all side bet too.
I'll do it for content.
So here's what we're gonna do. Next year, drive to the Derby, Jake Finch versus Brandon Paul. I'm going to drive the golf cart because that's the only thing I like to do golfing.
I don't know how you're going to drive us two on the same golf cart.
You'll have
I'm
to
just
be in
gonna
a
drive
different
another
golf
one
cart.
and chase golf.
Okay.
Just let me drive something, damn it. and Jake Finch is going to go out there and try to pull the double this week. And you know what else we're going to do? We're going to go to break, pay some bills here on FloRacing. And when we come back, we're going to have Rob and I, who the heck knows what he's got under his, the pull out of the hat, the rabbit out of the hat. Who knows? I'm going to stop talking because obviously I suck at it like Brandon Paul's golf game. See ya. Let's go to break.
See ya.
I don't hear.
Super awesome. I've never really been that involved into the motorsport industry, so it's just a new perspective, and it's an honor to be able to represent a bunch of hardworking drivers. They travel all throughout the nation just to come here, and I'm just excited to be a part of this tradition and the Snowball Derby.
All right, well, let me ask you this then. If you're new to motorsports, what made you want to enter a pageant where the responsibilities is 4 straight days in 1 week at the racetrack and then a bunch more throughout the next year at the racetrack?
So I love doing new things. I've always done pageants, so whenever I saw this opportunity come up, I just thought, why not?
I like that. Where does this crown rank compared to the other ones that you've gotten to wear?
This one's a lot bigger. It's very heavy, and it actually took 3 hands to put it on, and tons of bobby pins.
What was the hardest part of the pageant that you won just a couple of weeks ago for you?
Ooh, you know, the hardest part would just probably be just talking on stage, especially me not being that involved in the motorsport industry. They obviously want someone to represent this industry, and so I'm glad that they took a chance on me, and I'm just honored just to be able to wear this crown and represent the Snowball Derby.
Okay, so you told me earlier that you may be new to motorsports, but you're already a little bit familiar with the Snowball Derby because of your boyfriend. What do you know about this race and what you've got to do throughout the next week?
Yeah, so I know that it's the largest short track race in the nation, and that people come all the way, all throughout the United States and Canada down here to race. This is definitely where legends begin. And so I know that my responsibilities is just to be an ambassador all throughout the racetrack and just to be able to hand people their trophies on victory lane.
All right, well, that's Miss Snowball Derby, Miss Tori Hobbs. You'll see her all week long in victory lane and beyond at Five Flags Speedway. You enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you throughout the week. We're going to see who else we can catch up with, and I see another driver literally just to my left here running the Snowflake 125. Gabe Brown coming all the way down from New England. Gabe, are you ready to start the week?
Yeah, hopefully the weather cooperates a little bit here for us, and Preston and Garrett, the SPS guys, brought me a really good race car, and I'm excited to get rolling, and hopefully we got a good chance.
What would it mean for you to go out and win here at Five Flags Speedway?
Any win means a lot, but this one would be a big one. So, like I said, excited to get rolling. Hopefully we can time trial in. Hopefully we can time trial good, and just hoping for a good race.
Now, you've run some big races before, the Oxford 250. How does everything that's already gone on for this race compare to that?
It's big for sure. There's a lot of people here. The campers like Oxford, there's a lot of people, and a lot of preparation, a lot of testing, and just a lot of pressure. So hopefully we can capitalize and be on top.
Is it important to bring home some bragging rights over your friend here, DJ Shaw? You also, I believe, are on his race car, so there's got to be some bragging rights, right?
Hey, yeah, always. No matter where we finish, someone's going to have the bragging rights.
DJ Shaw is right here to my right. Bragging rights for you. It's a long trip back up to New England. That would be nice to have going into winter over Gabe, right?
Yeah, we're off to a rocky start here. We lost an engine testing, so we've got an uphill battle ahead of us, but we've got a good crew to work it out and give it our best shot.
It's already a long week. That's got to make it a little bit longer, but how did the test go? Aside from that, what did you learn coming into this one?
It was tough. We lost most of the day there with the engine failure, but all in all, I think our race pace is good. We didn't get to do a mock with the weather coming in after we had the engine failure, so just kind of worst case scenario for us for not being here for the last 15 years or so, and just we'll see what we can do, and hopefully we're going to go to work on it tomorrow and try to get another new engine in it and be ready for practice on Thursday.
So DJ told me he's not the biggest TV guy, but he knew exactly where to stand. He said, should I go right here? And I said, do you work in TV? Because you know what you're doing more than I do. So let me ask you this. Can you toss it back to fellow New Englander Brandon Paul at the desk?
Yeah, let's go back to Brandon at the desk with whoever they've got up next. Snowball, it looks like.
Look at that.
Pretty good.
New England getting a shout out. New England getting some love. And remember, 58th Snowball Derby this year, 57 times somebody has won this race. Only once has it ever been won by a New England driver, Pete Hamilton, in 1974. Will some of those talented youngsters get their shot at the Tom Dawson Trophy or the Alan Turner Hyundai Snowflake 125?
New England does have a Snowflake 100.
Yes, it
now
does.
125 a few years ago. Yep. Jake Johnson, who runs a lot of the Pro All-Star Series stuff and modifieds up in the New England, he won the Snowflake. So the Snowflake, I feel like DJ and Gabe, they get their cars going good. They can have a chance to win this race.
What do you think? What do you think, Snowball? What do you think? Yeah? Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah.
So that was his prediction for the win. But, folks, this has been a lot of fun here tonight. We have had one heck of a night here at the Ticket Sports Bar. I'm telling you this, if you're Blaze Dillner flying in later and later, or if you're already here and you're watching this on Facebook or on FloRacing or wherever you are, if you're coming to town, come to the Ticket Sports Bar. Great food, great atmospheres, TVs all around with sports. Heck, during the break, I was watching my New York Islanders win a hockey game. Great food.
And that's a surprise right there. So.
You can. Rob's coming in. Rob Blount's coming.
Your mic isn't even on, Rob.
Well, that's perfect.
Now it is.
That's better when his
Snowball
mic.
is wearing my suit.
That's not your suit.
This was my suit.
No, that's a different suit.
This is a different suit?
This is his suit.
You know what, I apologize.
You're an imposter.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Jeez. But, hey, FloRacing's got a lot going on, of course. Of course, the Snowball Derby, December 4th through 7th. Actually, we'll even have, the Hauler Parade aired on FloRacing. But it's a big time of the year, and especially for our group, we get to go to the biggest pavement race in the world, the Snowball Derby. And then you and I and a few of us will be at the Chili Bowl and see guys like Kyle Larson. Heck, Kaden Honeycutt, last year's winner of the Snowball Derby, he competed in the Chili Bowl.
And he did pretty well a couple of years ago.
Well, people say like the spike on pavement guys, but there's some pavement talent across this country, and we're seeing some of the brightest right here, right now, at Five Flags Speedway.
Snowball knows.
Snowball knows.
For sure. But, it's awesome. I mean, this is what we call big race season. All year long, we have racing almost every weekend. Now we're in big race season, and it starts here at the Snowball Derby. Also, for those watching, we have the Gateway Dirt Nationals going on as well. But then you go into the Chili Bowl, and, biggest race on pavement, biggest race on dirt, I think you can argue, in the Chili Bowl. Yep. So it's an exciting time of year on FloRacing.
Well, hey, folks, thank you for showing up tonight. Thank you for being a part of this awesome tradition that we have at the Snowball Derby, the kickoff party here at the Ticket Sports Bar. Make sure you get your butt down to Five Flags Speedway. All the reserve sit tickets are sold out, but there will be grandstand general admission tickets for the Snowflake 100, for the Snowball Derby, the biggest pavement late model race in the land. Snowflake 125, the Snowball Derby, the 58th annual. Make sure you be there, and if you can't, make sure you're watching all week long on FloRacing. I'm Matthew Dillner, joined by Brandon Paul and my boy Snowflake, and we're out. We'll see you the rest of the week for the Snowball Derby.